It's 10 to 7 right here at Biz Audio. Welcome back, everyone. And the radio industry never ceases to impress me and surprise me. It's Biz Audio, everyone. It's been a busy morning in radio and a busy weekend as well. Look, we've gotten some interesting news. Woken up to the KIIS network this morning. Who would have thought Mike E has returned to radio? Mike Etheridge, one of my longtime favorite announcers. I loved him when he was back with Emma on the Edge and over at the Hit Network. And of course, the Edge is now Cater if you're in the western suburbs. But look, Mike E has taken the reins of KIIS Breakfast and has been announced as the new fill-in host for at least the next few days or the next while. It's reported that Carl Sandilands will return on Wednesday. Of course, that'll be 2 weeks of his suspension over. But look, I believe he was saying that he thinks he's going to get axed on Tuesday night, or that's if he doesn't get axed on Tuesday night. But look, we'll see what happens when it comes to tomorrow night. But look, Etheridge was previously on the Hit Network with Emma Chow. Before that, he was at ARN. And he opened the show this morning by talking to Brooklyn Ross, newsreader, and Nat Penfold, the executive producer, two staff members he previously worked with on the Edge, joking that he got them their start in radio. So look, I love Marky. I'm a big fan of him, and I really enjoy listening. I've only been listening since 6 o'clock this morning, but I really enjoyed listening to that first sort of opening half an hour. Looking over to Tony Aldridge, the former KIIS 1065 content director. He has returned to radio with a new role at Nova Entertainment as the Nova Network content director. Aldridge was previously at ARN and was made redundant earlier last year. And prior to that, he was at I-98. And before that, he was also at Nova as the assistant program director. Very interesting news. Look, Aldridge, this one slipped through the cracks. I only noticed this one, actually, on LinkedIn on Friday. And look, I am usually more on top of this. They didn't really make a big deal about this. And look, shocking. So look, congratulations to Tony Aldridge on his return to radio. Over at 5AA, they've celebrated 50 years on air. And the station started broadcasting on March 14th, 1976, also reaching a milestone as 5AA's breakfast duo, David and Will, celebrating 10 years together. The Adelaide's only talkback station, and of course that's owned by Nova Entertainment. And some other tinier news, Nicole Van Osterom has departed ARN after 16 years as the senior accounts manager at ARN Melbourne. So congratulations to her on 16 years at ARN. And look, I think the radio industry will not cease to it won't cease to surprise us over the next few days. It'll be full of twists and turns over the next few weeks, and we'll see a whole series of industry twists and turns that nobody predicted. I was chatting to Peter Samios over the weekend, and a tiny thing that he did chat about is that it would be interesting if Jackie jumps over to 2Day. It would be interesting because, of course, Mikey and Kyle are both former duos with Jackie O and Emma Chow. So that's a tiny interesting one, and we'll see where that goes. But look, I was chatting with him as well, and it'd be interesting if Mikey goes back on 96.1 on Cater. So look, that's been a really neglected station. They started that off with a bang back in 2020, 2023 or 2022. They started off with like crazy, like so many on-air lineups, like even like one-day lineups as well, like Tuesday, Thursday lineups as well. So really interesting to see how that played out now with only two basically live announcers, and of course AI Thigh on Cater. But look, we'll see what happens over there, and it's great to see Mikey back on the radio. And of course, he recently launched his podcast, theoretically a bit of competition to me with my radio industry interviews.